Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Hi. Morning. Welcome to Jam London. It's a real pleasure to see so many of you here for the 5th year of the conference. I really can't believe it's been that long, really. Actually, quick show of hands. Who's been here before? I cannot really see you, but okay, great. A lot of regulars. And who's here for the, thank you. And who's here for the first time? Okay, great. A few people. So we have some regulars, we have some new faces. Welcome. I have a feeling it's going to be the best conference to date, because not only because it's Halloween today, or because it's, I don't know, not raining outside for the first time ever since we started Jam, but because you're the most international crowds that we've seen so far at Jam. Here's a map of where you're all coming from. I counted over 15 countries, and I must have missed some, so needless to say, very international crowd, and that's super exciting to have you all here. But I think that wherever you're joining us from today, that you're all here for the same reason. You're all here because you want to build something great, whether that's a product, an experience, a team, a company, a career in the field, and you want to learn and connect with those who are equally passionate as you are, right? So really great to have you here. All right, so we have a lot of regulars, but for those of you who don't know, Jam started in 2015 when me and my co-founder Seb, you probably met him or you'll see him around today, started working together at this early stage startup, and we were just in the middle of this big product redesign, our heads into the prototypes, into the user feedback, a little lost, and we were just missing an honest conversation about the challenges that other product people faced in their role and other product teams faced. And also we wanted to understand the solutions that they tried. And we wanted to hear from our peers, from their experiences, instead of just reading yet another blog post or another success story online. So we started Jam, and then unexpectedly it turned into this annual gathering that you all know, a friendly event where we invite people like you, makers, on stage to share their stories, their lessons with you. Yeah, so it's been really fun. Every year we've heard a lot of great stories. We learned tons from all of our speakers, and you might recognize some. I know some of them are here also, maybe? Yes. Please do not say hi, but they're here. I know they're there. So we've learned tons. It'd be difficult to really summarize all the things that we learned. But something else I wanted to say before we start the day is that this event for us, and maybe it's for you too, it has become this moment of self-introspection, because every year at Jam we reflect on what's been happening in our year, in our work, in our lives, in our career. So that's why before we start, I want to share one lesson with you, one thing I've personally taken away from running Jam over the years. And that has not much to do with products, so bear with me. So this lesson is the fact that I think that in our quest to build great products and to build fulfilling careers in this field, we tend to make a mistake. We tend to overplan. Because we love planning, right? We love creating those elaborate roadmaps for our products. We love to have things that are planned. But as we are heads down, working on our OKRs, trying to meet our deadlines, or just planning all the skills that we think we need to learn to become better, we tend to forget or to not see that there is something else working in the background, and that's driving our careers forward. Serendipity. So, what is serendipity, beyond just this funny word that I cannot really pronounce well? Well, let's see. I recently found out that serendipity comes from an 18th century fairy tale called The Three Princes of Serendip, yeah. And it's a fairy tale in which the heroes were always making discoveries by accident and sagacity of things that they were not in quest of. So that's the original definition. In practice, serendipity happens, or it's when, and I'm going to give you a few examples, personal ones again. It's when you decide to create an event one day after work, like I just mentioned, because you feel overwhelmed at work. and because you want to advance your career in products. You want to become a better product manager. I mean, that's the plan at least, right? And then you end up discovering a completely different career path for yourself, one in which you're organizing events, experiences, helping your peers get better at what they do and grow their careers. And you're no longer in a 9-to-5 role in London anymore. You're a remote worker, growing that community from anywhere in the world. So that's serendipity. Serendipity is also when you just broke up at an event one morning in 2016. You attend that conference last minute because a colleague just randomly mentioned it at work. And you're a junior designer. You just finished General Assembly. And then one thing leading to another, you end up on stage the following year. And then you end up hosting the conference every year as it grows. You might have recognized him for the regulars. It's Sunil, our conference host, who is now a senior UX designer at Aviva and the host of this event, the one in Barcelona as well, and obviously a great friend as well. I'm not sure where he is, but hi. Finally, serendipity is when a conversation after a talk leads you to a new role in an exciting startup that you hadn't considered before. Or other conversations give you the confidence to relocate to a new country. A few more examples, but we have tons. So serendipity is an important force driving our careers forward, driving us to places that we hadn't considered before. But is it pure luck? Or can we make it happen? Turns out we can make it happen, and research shows this, that we can cultivate this, this art of like finding what we're not looking for, what we're not seeking. So how can we do this? How can we make it happen? Well, the easiest way is by striking up a conversation, by talking to strangers, by opening up and sharing what matters to you. And I got reminded of this, the importance of doing this, very recently. 2 weeks ago, I was on a plane, that plane actually, I took that photo, pretty happy about it. On a plane from London to the French Alps, where I'm from, to meet with my mom. And I was a little stressed because I was running late to the gate, kind of like running around in Gatwick Airport. Finally made it. And when I sat down at my seat, I was like, okay, fine, I can relax now, I can start working, putting my laptop out. But then I got grumpy because this older lady sat next to me and started talking to me about the weather and random things. I was like, great. But to be polite, I mean, I lived 5 years in the UK. I know, you have to try to be polite a little bit with people. Cannot be French all the time. So I returned the question. I was like, okay, well, what are you doing why are you flying to Geneva? Why are you going to France? And then, completely unexpectedly, the story she shared with me made my day. Because it turns out that she was flying to my hometown, to Geneva, and then going to my hometown in the French Alps to meet a lifelong friend for her 60th birthday, a friend that she had met decades ago in my hometown on a language exchange, like the first language exchanges that happened at that time. And so basically we started then talking the entire flight about things that we had in common despite our age difference, like our love for languages, for cross-cultural friendships, and all of that. And I think here it's funny because that was a really beautiful and unexpected interaction, but if she hadn't struck that conversation in the first place, none of this would have happened, and I would have stayed grumpy and stressed and just missing out on this conversation and all the great things that happened afterwards during the trip. So serendipity sometimes have a big impact on your career, sometimes a small one on your day, but it really starts with sharing. And you're on that plane today. You're surrounded with 600 passengers, people who have their own stories, their own journey. But imagine all the stories they could share with you if you only take a moment to ask a question and to start a conversation. So today you're gonna learn a lot from our speakers. I'm super excited to hear their talks. They have really prepared something special for you. You're going to learn a lot from them, but I also invite you to open up to your peers, to share your own stories. What is the one story you want to share? What is the one thing that's on your mind? Maybe that's something you're working on, a project that you have, a crazy idea, a struggle. Just make sure that you talk about this with your peers, because sharing candidly will help you meet new people, and then will have an unexpected impact on your career and what comes next. Well, that was all I had to say. On that note, I want to wish you a great day at Jam. I hope you have great conversations, meet new people, and then let Serendipity do its magic. Thank you. Now let's welcome Sunil, your host, to the stage.